NYPA. It's time to start the show, so search for the squad and listen out for the promo with the West Wild Spitter. Spin his web into a chokehold. Make it unfold, 5 o'clock. Who gives a damn of what your man to say? We spittin' live wireless, leave them shot with the gamma ray. Ain't no runner-up, cause it ain't the closest to candidate. I blocks it deep and you draw like Japanese anime. It's just us and the rest, news off the hottest press. Kyle Horton, Philly West, reppin' with the legends, classic interview session, politics, sports segment, live phone, call up a question, it's the NYPA, 95 connection, real people, ain't no scripted cue call for direction, just team on their grind time till it's all perfection, throw it past the satellite so you can catch reception, so touch ground with us, we kill challenges, and murder it for every number on your calendars, from west to the boogie down the Greyhound in this, we Google Spot, Anchor Podcast, pocket this.
Welcome everyone to another episode of NYPA Entertainment Radio. I'm just on my camera. KG, broadcasting live from the NYPA studios. Thank you for joining me for this week's episode. And as we go into this week's of giving thanks, or some people would say Christmas giving, because they just skip over Thanksgiving and jump to Christmas. Hopefully you having safe travels and enjoying your loved ones as you fellowship with one another over some great food and possibly some bad ones, because you already got some family members that can't cook. You know, they want, try this, and it's like, you know, like nasty mashed potatoes or over dried chicken, yams are nasty. You know, everyone got that relative. But nevertheless, hopefully everyone's enjoying their family, breaking bread and reuniting and having a good time, having a couple of spirits and being safe, traveling safe to and from your destination. As we wind down this month, next week is December. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to the final stretch of NYPA Entertainment Radio, the final season, as I close one book and open up another in 2026 for Who is Kyle Graham. Until then, you can definitely press the subscribe button, wherever it is at, YouTube, Riverside, or Spotify, and then going forward with Who is Kyle Graham, more platforms to come. I haven't decided what date in December, and I might actually do a bonus New Year's Day episode to wrap things up officially. I'm not too sure. I'm still thinking that through. Most likely it'll just end in December prior to the new year to close the book on NYPA Entertainment Radio, and then in 2026. Who is Kyle Graham, starting all over again. It's a little, I'm open with you guys. It's nervous and tedious and difficult, and no co-creator is doing everything all over again from the ground up. But it's something I want to do and needs to be done, and I'm excited to get started with that, amongst other ventures that I want to finally see through, like my book and so forth. So for those who like wondering, he said he had a book coming out. It's done. I just got to take care of the technicalities of it. And it takes time, especially when life be life and getting in and distracting you and all that stuff. But it's coming. So don't worry about it. A lot of great things on the horizon, Lord willing, in 2026 and beyond will be happening. So, and you'll be along with me for the ride. You know what I'm saying? So let's get started. Donald Glover says he suffered a stroke during 2024 Childish Gambino World Tour. Quote, "They found a hole in my heart." Donald Glover this past Saturday opened up to fans as why he canceled his 2024 New World Tour. Glover, who performed under the stage name Childish Gambino, told fans during the performance at Tyler, the Creator Camp's Flog-Gnaw that it was a stroke that forced him to end his globe-spanning tour after 18 shows. quote, I had really a bad pain in my head in Louisiana, and I did the show anyway. I couldn't really see well, so when we went to Houston, I went to the hospital, and the doctor was like, "You had a stroke." Uh, Glover explained, and the first thing I thought was like, "Oh, here I am still copying Jamie Foxx." That's really like the second thing. The first thing I was like, "I'm letting everybody down." Glover added that not long after the stroke, he had another serious health scare when doctors discovered an irregularity in his heart. I'll get it out. They found a hole in my heart, Glover said, so I had this surgery. Then I had to have another surgery. He continued, they say everybody has two lives, and the second life starts when you realize you have one. You should be living your life how you want. If we have to do things again, it can only get better. Back in 2024, Glover released since a deleted statement on X explaining his reason for canceling his more vague term, sharing that he had an ailment and that required more tests and a surgery. I want nothing more than to bring this show to the fans and perform. He wrote at the time. Until then, thanks for love, privacy, and support. For someone meaning me, who currently is at the tail end of a health issue, I get it. It is nerve wracking. A stroke can happen at any time to anyone, no matter what race, color, creed, him or her. It can happen, and it's very scary. Surgeries and having a hole in your heart, that's scary also. Um, and particularly is what I'm going through, but those who know. And I get it, and it's true. And you see things differently. I know being in the hospital last year and around this time, and you have different epiphanies, and you want to make things better, change things. Not saying I didn't appreciate stuff, but you were like, damn, this is it. Is this how I'm going to go out? You know what I mean? And you have agendas and things that I personally I need. I want to kind of accelerate a little bit more personally and of course professionally. Things I need to look into, things I'm like, you know what, why not? And go for it. Anyway, you gotta live your life and do it the best way you can. You probably hear an alarm in the background, but this is Philadelphia. Um, but I'm glad he's on the mend. I'm glad he's around, and I think first time I saw him in a while was a clip when he inducted Outkast into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He looks great. Of course, no one, it's no one's business what's going on in people's personal lives, whether you're a celebrity or civilian alike, unless they want to tell you. And I'm glad he's on his feet, man. He's a very talented brother. Looking forward to great great work coming from him, and hopefully one day get a chance to work with him. But I've been there. I'm going through it, and I'm sure a lot of you guys out there who have been or are going through a chronic illness, hang in there. Believe whatever higher power you believe in. Take it day by day. It's difficult, trust me. I want to. I am impatient, and I want it over with. And I'm almost there, but I'm not there. There. And just your higher power have the final word, not the doctors. Let's leave it at that. I'm not going down that whole rabbit hole. But I'm happy that Donald Glover is on the mend, and hopefully whatever you're going through, you're on the mend, and it gets better, and it will get better. Just keep that in mind. So shout out to my man Donald Glover. Hopefully we see great work from him. Hopefully I get a chance to work with him. I've got some ideas to run past him. You know what I'm saying? I got some out of the box stuff that'll take things to the next level because I'm that damn good. That's why. Moving on. Kevin Spacey says he's homeless and living in hotels. Claims Hollywood exile would be over if Scorsese or Tarantino called tomorrow. I'm sorry, pop up. I'm trying to move this. Kevin Spacey announced in an interview with The Telegraph that he is officially homeless after his Hollywood film career came crashing down amid various sexual assault allegations. Quote, living in hotels. I'm living in hotels. I'm living in Airbnbs. The two-time Oscar winner said, I'm going where the work is. I literally have no home. That's what I'm attempting to explain. The costs over these last 7 years have been astronomical. I've had I've had very little coming in and everything going out. Spacey fought back tears during an interview on Piers Morgan Uncensored in June of 2024, when he first disclosed that his home in Baltimore was going into foreclosure because he owed millions in legal fees due to various sexual assault claims against him. Spacey had been living in the city since House of Cards started production in 2012. He was fired from the show by Netflix in 2017 due to alleged sexually inappropriate behavior on the set. Well, I'm not sure what I'm going to. I'm not sure where I'm going to live now. I can't pay the bills that I owe. Spacey told Morgan at the time. Since claims of Spacey's alleged sexual assaults and inappropriate behavior first arose in the wake of the Me Too movement in 2017, several legal cases have been brought against him. A jury in New York concluded in 2022 that Spacey did not molest actor Anthony Rapp, who has accused him of sexual assault in the early 1980s when Rapp was 14. The next year, a UK court found Spacey not guilty of 9 charges of sexual assault from 4 complainants. Several other charges and lawsuits have been dropped. Spacey has denied all allegations. Quote, we're in touch with some extremely powerful people who want to put me back to work, Spacey said in an interview after returning to the high profile acting gigs, and that will happen in its right time. But I will also say what I think the industry seems to be waiting for is to be given permission by someone who is in some position or enormous respect and authority. So my feeling is if Martin Scorsese or Quentin Tarantino call my manager Evan Lowenstein tomorrow, it will be over. He added, "I will be incredibly honored and delighted that that the level of talent picks up the phone." Various actors spoke um, out last year in champion Spacey's return to Hollywood. Sharon Stone called Spacey a genius and said, "I can't wait to see Kevin back at work." Liam Neeson said, "Our industry needs him and misses him greatly." I'm a Kevin Spacey fan. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of my favorite movies involve Kevin Spacey. Usual Suspects, Swimming with Sharks. I can go on. Listen, I'm not saying he did or didn't do anything. I'm not saying that. What I am saying, if they went to the proper channels of the law, and the law says, well, he's innocent, all right, give him a second chance. The law found him guilty, then hey, you found him guilty, you found the evidence, and that's that. Um, he's not behind bars. He's not in prison. Again, and make it clear, I'm not saying he did do it. I'm not saying he didn't do it. What I'm saying is, if they show no proof and he went to courts and they said okay, all right, well, they dropped this or whatever the case may be, I say, well, all right, give him a second chance. I think he will get a second chance sometime in 26. He is a great talent. Don't condone the alleged the alleged assaults and stuff like that and allegations. I don't condone that. Again, I can't say yeah or nay. His side, their side, somewhere in the middle. Everyone is the truth, and since they didn't show anything, he's innocent to proven guilty. So he's innocent to proven guilty. That's what it's supposed to be. But I do think he will return to work. I think somewhere down the line, someone, it might not be Scorsese, um, might not be Tarantino, but someone will. I would be surprised if someone gives him a chance to itching. I washed up. Uh, Someone will give him a chance to get back into Hollywood. So we'll see. But he's a great talent, man, and everyone deserves a second chance. Uh, in general, civilians and celebrities alike, and we'll see. We shall see. And again, make it clear, I'm not saying he did do it. I'm not saying he didn't do it. I'm not condoning the alleged allegations. What I'm saying is, if he's innocent until proven guilty, and right now he wasn't proven guilty, give him a chance, and I think they will start off slow and then work his way up to more bigger roles. Someone I think will reach out to him. So I wouldn't be surprised sometime in 2026 if he makes an appearance somewhere, movie or a TV show on a streaming service somewhere. So we'll see. Moving on. Fuji rappers Prize Michelle sentenced to 14 years in prison for conspiracy and foreign lobbying conviction. All right, let me move this here. All righty. Hip hop legend and Fuji's star Prize Michelle is going to prison. The musician received a 14-year sentence on Thursday following the 2023 conviction on charges of conspiracy and acting as an unregistered agent of a foreign government. Erica Damas, a representative for Prize, noted to Entertainment Weekly that her client has also been ordered to serve 3 years of probation following the completion of the sentence and is set to surrender by January 27th, 2026. Dumas added that the judge in the case, D.C. Federal Court Judge Collier Cotelli, called Prize well-educated but very arrogant. I feel you have no remorse, unquote. Price has spent his career breaking barriers and defying expectations, Demas stated. While today marks a difficult moment, it is not the end of his story or legacy. He is profoundly grateful for the continued support of those who believe in him as he prepares for what lies ahead. The 53-year-old musician born bear with me, I'm just simple folk from Southwest Philly, Procazarel Samuel Michel caught his first wave of legal trouble in 2019. The court indictment unsealed that may allege that in 2012, the disgraced Malaysian financier Low Tak Jeho, known as Jeho Low, transferred $21.6 million to accounts belonging to Prize, directing him to covertly apply the money into presidential campaigns. Prize did just that, funneling approximately $865,000 through straw donors into the campaign of a candidate later revealed as Barack Obama. That donation became the subject of a false report submitted to the Federal Election Commission by a Presidential Joint Fundraising Committee. After investigators began looking into that actively, but before the 2019 indictment, Prize and Lowe engaged in another criminal conspiracy to influence President Donald Trump and the Justice Department to drop the investigation into Lowe and his co-conspirators. That was the subject of 2021 superseding indictment, which found the millions Lowe directed to Prize were stolen from the Malaysian Sovereign Wealth Fund. Malaysia Development Berhad, or One Malaysia Development Berhad. Prize was also accused of using the money to create a back-channel campaign to extradite the Chinese descendant Gao, bear with me again, simple folk from Southwest Philly, Gao Wenguai back to China from the United States. The musician was convicted by a federal grand jury in April 2023. Michelle and Lowe met in 2006. The relationship led to Lowe helping finance films like The Wolf of Wall Street, which ended up dragging Leonardo DiCaprio into court to testify in 2023 trial. It was revealed during the trial that Lowe's plundering of the IMBD Sovereign Wealth Fund exceeded $4 billion. Low whereabouts have been unknown since 2016. Damn, that dude's hiding in plain sight. Like the judge said about Prize, well educated. So obviously he knew what he was doing. He knew it was illegal. He knew he could get in a lot of trouble. He knew that you know, like he could go to prison and get a lot of years. So with that being said, my thing is like, was it worth it? Was it worth it putting yourself in a situation where you get taken away from your family for 14 years? You know what I mean? Like, was it worth it? Then 3 years of probation. Was it worth it? What was your end game when you got involved with Lowe and doing this sneaky shit? Was it worth it? What was your reasoning for doing that? You're not stupid. You are highly educated. You knew and know that it was wrong. So you got to do the time. You're guilty. Um, I mean, the thing is, you get to spend time with your family during the holidays because you're going January 27th of next year. But again, 14 years of your life, you're 53. If you do the full 14, I wouldn't be surprised if you got a little sooner than that. Excuse me. Do my math, you'll be what, 67? You go into your golden years. 53 is still young, and you're missing out on a lot of stuff. And have your freedom taken away, we take things for granted. Just getting up and, I don't know, going onto your porch, walking to the store, getting a haircut, coming and going as you please, traveling. That's taken away for the next 14 years. You have someone telling you what to do, when to go to bed, when to get up, what you're gonna do, all that stuff. Um, was it worth it? That's the question. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? Having 14 years of your life taken away, doing this scam and all that stuff. I don't know what to say, man. I'm like, it is what it is. It's just like you're hurting your family, friends, and the whole nine. Like that hurts when they get to lose you for 14 years. Your kids, and you miss them. You're gonna miss them grow and have experiences, and you're not around for that graduations and stuff. They don't think about that when you scamming people and you're away. You get put away for 14 years. So I don't know, man. Excuse me. Maybe yawn. My apologies. But he did the crime. You gotta do the time. The old cliche, and then that's it. There's no sympathy. He knew what he was doing. Again, highly intelligent, but the judge was like, he ain't show no remorse. And I've been in there. I guess judges know. He probably just like, yeah, I did it. You know what I mean? Indirectly or directly. Who knows? He might have had that look, or he probably said something that's like, I ain't no remorse on what you did. You seem like you didn't care that you blah, 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 blah. So that's it. Definitely no Fuji's reunion for the next 14 years. Moving on. Let me see. Rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine, Florida home burglarized by 4 armed men. According to the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, deputies arrived at the home and spoke to people who were inside, who said 4 armed men wearing masks entered the home. Rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine home in Florida was burglarized by armed men on last Sunday, and his mother was held by the suspects. Authorities said, according to the Palm Beach, Florida County Sheriff's Office, deputies arrived at the home and spoke to people who were inside and who said 4 armed men wearing masks entered the home. Deputies said Tekashi's mother was physically held outside while the suspects ran into the home, ransacked it, and asked for money and car keys. During their investigations, a canine tracked and searched the home and couldn't find anything, and deputies said the suspects could have left in a vehicle. No injuries were reported. No arrests have been made. Tekashi, whose real name is Daniel Hernandez, is not a stranger to South Florida. In July, Hernandez was kicked out of a club in Hialeah after police said he and another person were ejected from the business after an altercation broke out between another customer. Hialeah police said officers arrived at the Playpen 2 located at 3890 Northwest 36th Street after receiving reports of a disturbance. Police investigated the um, incident. There was limited information provided by everyone involved in the incident, including the staff at Playpen 2, and those who were involved were released at the scene. Hernandez was also involved in a legal battle after he sued LA Fitness for $1 million in damages after accusing the gym of failing to protect him when he was brutally attacked at a Palm Beach County location back in 2023. Takashi was attacked by three men in a locker room at LA Fitness in Lake Worth on March 21st, 2023, which left him with several injuries. Viral cell phone video showed the rapper on the floor of the locker room while three men kicked him. Another cell phone video showed the rapper appearing to re-enter the gym after the attack with no shoes and blood dripping from his face. The three men involved in the attack were which include high-ranking Latin King gang members, Rafael Medina, were arrested. The man has a lot of enemies. He made a lot of enemies from what he's done in the past and doing the snitching and all that stuff. So I don't think it was a random break-in my opinion. I think it was targeted. It seemed like it was targeted. They knew they were looking for. And I think it's just, someone who just has a bad reputation, who rub people the wrong way. Someone who just for the most part, has a target on their back for a lot of years. And instead of if I'm openly snitching on people, I'm low key. And he came out, he throwing money in the air, he doing all types of shit, and you know what I mean. So I'm sure there's a lot of people he pissed off publicly and privately. So it seems to me that it was more of a targeted situation than anything. I don't think it was a random. I think they went in there looking for him. Outside of getting money and keys, they was hoping that he would be in there or to hurt him or whatever the case may be. But I'm not surprised. The man enemies has enemies. So this is the reputation that he has. So it doesn't surprise me. I'm not shocked. It's just you wouldn't look. My thing is, you wouldn't if you cool with him. I wouldn't want to be around him anywhere in public or privately, for that matter, because they come to get him either way. But he did it to himself, and I think he just angered a lot of people. Period. And I think he just angered a lot of people again, privately and publicly. So I'm not surprised. Like I said, it just when I read it, I was like, well, his reputation precedes him. Moving on. Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, what the fuck? Enlist Martha Stewart as Jen brand partner, share stars Walter Melly recipe. Still GIN by Dre and Snoop is welcoming a brand new partner to the family and is someone who more than makes sense for the premium spirit brand. Indeed, Martha Stewart, who last year let the world know that she had regularly pushed for Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg to soundtrack her hit Netflix documentary, has been enlisted to not only promote the Still GIN by Dre and Snoop brand, but also to share her own recipe using the signature gin. According to Stewart, the gin in question has become her quote go-to spirit as of late, leading to the development of her watermelon recipe. Quote, I think gin has to have a superior flavor. Stewart, whose friendship with Snoop is well documented and is being instead of being recruited of serve as brand partner, it has to be smooth and not intrusive on your senses. Still, GIN is so flavorful and so aromatic. It's my go-to spirit now, and I use it in cocktails where I might have used something else before. It's just that versatile and good. As for the watermelon, Martha's first ever still GIN cocktail recipe is billed as an elevated take on gin and juice. It looks good. It looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Very smart thinking for two very smart businessmen, Dr. Dre and Snip Dogg, to bring Martha Stewart into this. Kind of like a bit of a semi like a brand ambassador partner, open up the masses, different streams of revenue, make it a little more global. Martha Stewart put her, that's a whole nother type of demographics right there. You know what I mean? With Martha Stewart, that brings in a different demo. And she's like, yo, this is good. My homie Snoop and Dr. Dre, I'm sorry, my homie Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, try it. It elevates this and blah, 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 blah. That puts a stamp on it. That's smart. That's smart business. That's another type of stream of revenue from a certain type of demographics, and it elevates that product to the next level. So kudos to Dre. Kudos to Snoop Dogg. What the fuck? And just thinking like that. That's smart, man. Like bringing Martha Stewart, like she can she is well known for putting her stamp on something, and it goes through the next level. It goes to the millions and billions and so far. So if you got Martha Stewart backing you and being a partner and part of her conglomerate, and it brings in certain demographics, that's extra cash, that's extra eyeballs, that makes the sales go up. Expands it more. That's smart thinking, and that was due for Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg to bring in Martha Stewart. That's dope, man. That's just very smart. Smart business. Smart business by two smart businessmen. DJ Premier and Nas announced the release date for their new collab album, and I've been talking about this on this show for a while. Nas and DJ Premier will drop off their new collaborative album next month. Premier announced the project during a show on Wednesday, November 19th in Bristol, England, alongside The Alchemist. While he didn't reveal the official title of the new LP, he confirmed the collection of collabs will drop December 12th. Quote, how many people are ready for the Nas and Premier album? Premier calls out to the roaring crowd December 12th, get ready, mother effers. Premier then dove into their Represent song from Illmatic. Represent. Let me stop for YouTube flag me or Spotify flag me for like singing the hook to a song. Nas and Primo latest collab will be the final piece of Mass Appeal's Legend Has It rollout, which include releases from Slick Rick, Raekwon, Ghostface Killah, Mobb Deep, Big L, and most recently De La Soul, Cabin in the Sky, that dropped Friday, November 21st. The announcement comes after Nas and Premier dropped off Define My Name last April, which they confirmed at the time was part of the album rollout. Cool. I can't wait for people to finally hear it. Nas told Rolling Stone in October. I don't know about anybody else, but for me and him, it was personally a long time coming for us to do it. He added by talking about the creative ideas he and Premier had been hashing out throughout 2024. I'm going to say at least two of those ideas happened on this album. Nas added, we didn't get a chance to do them when we were talking about them. We were talking about them, but we finally got a chance to put those recordings together this year. I heard I heard two snippets of Cabin in the Sky from De La Soul. One, the verse I heard was Common's verse. He had a track with Common. It was a track with Common and Slick Rick with De La Soul. I heard Common ripped it. Then there was another track with Black Thought on it. And Black Thought, one of my favorite lyricists along with Common, killed it also. I just came across my algorithms online. But I'm definitely going to try to do a deep dive on Cabin in the Sky and hear the full tracks with these cats on it. Separate tracks, but you know what I mean. Having Nas and Primo, I've been talking about it a while, come out together. Premier on the beat, Nas rapping. I'm curious to see if there's going to be any guest appearances on the album. um, would be AZ, Nas' right hand man. Would it be anyone else? Would it just be Nas? You know what I mean? So December 12th, go check it out, man. I had people text me about it. You hear about it? I'm like, of course I heard about it. I'm in the loop, man. Listen to the show, watch the show. You will know what I know, that I know what I know. You know what I'm saying? So there's no title yet, but December 12th. I'm saying between now and then, you'll probably hear the title. The title will come up because you got to have a title to drop it. But December 12th is right around the corner, so I'm sure they're working on a title, and I think we'll probably hear it by December 1st, if not sooner. With the title of the collaborative album will be with Nas and DJ Premier. I think it's gonna be dope, man. You got two legends, two icons working masterfully together. I think it's gonna be cool. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna be. Um, Moving on. What else? What else? I have. I think I have a Drake double bubble. I do have a Drake double bubble. All right, it's a Drake double bubble. Drake likes negative comments about ex Serena Williams 9 months after she danced during Kendrick Lamar's halftime show. I didn't know they dated. Drake seemed to approve of a shady comment aimed at Serena Williams, whom the rapper dated on and off between 2011 and 2015. The Nokia rapper 39 publicly liked a comment on Instagram photos he shared on Monday, November 17th, of himself with Sexy Red. The rapper posed for a tennis-themed shoot, and Drake captioned the post, "I said tennis lessons." She said, "Where's the bracelet or the necklace?" One of the comments under the post, which Drake seemingly approved of by liking, read Serena Williams upgrade with two fire emojis. Another user below, like the comment, called him messy the for liking the jab of Williams. The rapper's social media behavior becomes just months after Williams, 44, told Time that her cameo in Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime performance was absolutely not shade at her ex, who the 23-time Grand Slam champion dated on and off again from 11 to 15. Williams dancing accompanied Lamar's performance of his song "Not Like Us," a diss track pointed at Drake. Williams said that she would never do that in her time interview in April. The tennis star added that it was sad that anyone would ever think that she was mocking her ex. I respect how they could. Obviously, I can see how someone would think that, but obviously, absolutely not. Williams added, "I have never had negative feelings towards him. We've known him for so many years." Instead, Williams' cameo in Lamar's set, which had the tennis champ doing a Crip walk, a dance made famous by the Los Angeles Crips in the 1970s, was a recreation of her iconic celebration after defeating Maria Sharapova at 2012 London Olympics. Williams told the Time, "I don't know if I regret it or not in April. I don't know the answer to that." Drake, who was linked to Williams in 2015 and was friends with her long before then, also mentioned in the song "Worst Behavior" released in 2013, "I went from a whole set tennis matches at the crib. I swear I would beat Serena when she's playing with her left." He sang. I butchered that. Of course, someone's going to look into everything that you post when you're a celebrity or what you like. You know what I mean? And you have that right. Look, if she came out there and crip walked and was doing a jab towards old boy, she got that right. If he liked that someone threw a jab at Serena, he got that right. Oh, you so messy. Mind your fucking business. Let that man be messy. What that got to do with you? Why are you upset that he's low key being messy? Why are you you so messy? So what? Let him be messy. Mind your business. You got nothing else to do but comment when celebrities do. That's his life. He's a human being. He can be messy as long as he wants. That's his business. Why are you commenting? That's so messy. What? Because he liked it? Well, like, come on. Like, you're messing your lives. You know what I mean? Like, stop thinking that celebrities are superhuman. They're human beings too. They got the right to be messy like we got the right to be messy. And mind your fucking business on top of that. Who cares? Like, leave your comments to yourself. Like, who gives a crap that he liked a jab at his ex-girlfriend? Like, you might not have took a jab at your ex. Come on. Get real. Get your head out your ass. Staying with Drake and Kendrick Lamar. Drake dropped booking agent he shared with Kendrick Lamar. After more than a decade of working together, Drake has cut ties with Brent Smith at Wasserman Music. Drake quietly parted ways with the booking agent he shared with longtime rival Kendrick Lamar earlier this year, Billboard has learned, and a move largely kept quiet to avoid media scrutiny. One source tells Billboard that Drake and former longtime agent Brent Smith of Wasserman Music have not worked together for most, if not all, of 2025, due in part to the fallout over last year's feud with Lamar and the release of Billboard Hot 100 topping the diss track Not Like Us. Drake has been repped by Smith for more than a decade. The two began working together at WME and continued their relationships after Smith joined Wasserman Music in 2020, where he now executive vice president and managing executive. Drake will reportedly be repped by CAA by a team led by Daryl Eaton. Billboard has learned the news was first reported by Hits Daily Double. Drake's sorry, screen move. Drake's decision to split with Wasserman comes after Lamar SZA grossed an impressive $358.6 million gross on their grand national tour, making it one of the highest grossing hip hop treks of all time, according to Billboard box score, moving 1.76 million tickets. Drake is reportedly planning his own tour for 2026 with Live Nation, where he has long had an exclusive global touring deal. The fact that Drake and Lamar shared a booking agent was a topic of intrigue in the music business, especially as the two rappers' feud worsened. At one point, Drake even sued his record label Universal Music Group over their lyrics of Not Like Us, which Drake claimed were untrue and defamatory. Yeah, defamatory. A federal judge dismissed the lawsuit last month, and attorneys for Drake have appealed. Look, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta make some business moves. You gotta upgrade your team. You gotta make some changes. And he feels though old boy is not helping you, and he might have that Kendrick Lamar stench on him. You gotta make changes. You gotta play chess, not checkers. And you gotta upgrade, get a better person. Let's do this. I'm trying to outdo that. I'll get someone who's stronger. Someone who might be stronger in this situation than Brent is. You know what I mean? Get a fresh outtake, a fresh new look, a fresh everything, fresh outlook, I should say. And sometimes you might have to make that change. And I'm sure it's more business than personal. Of course, but when you got Kendrick Lamar attached to it, people going to think, oh, because the Lamar thing. Because everyone wants to speculate, everyone wants to assume. He didn't say it, but you want to speculate on it. Um, but it's something that I'm sure he felt as though has to be done and should be done. Make that move, upgrade, and prepare for his new tour that I'm sure he's going to try to kill and dominate, has some guest spots, and try to outgross the SZA and Kendrick. Excuse me, my neck hurts. Sorry about that. And try to outgross the SZA and Kendrick Lamar's tour. So we shall see. It's a business move. I don't think it's a personal move, but I think it's just like, all right, I gotta be counteractive, and I gotta come up with something that's gonna make my tour great in 2026. And like I said, maybe Brent Smith might be strong in some aspects, weak in others. And Drake's vision, he may need someone who agrees with his vision. He might agree with someone. He might need someone who's strong at what he's looking to do. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see. But of course, everyone is going to nitpick and dissect every little thing because Lamar is attached to it. That happens, and it's going to happen. But he didn't say it. We don't know. I think it's just a business move, and you got to upgrade sometimes if you want to think out of the box and move to the next level. Speaking of moving to the next level or moving on, staying with Kendrick Lamar and Drake, ASAP Ferg calls ASAP Rocky and Kendrick Lamar's feud with Drake after touring together kind of natural. A little brother wanted to grow up, improve himself. He said in a new interview. It's ASAP Ferg. Long before Drake's feud with ASAP Rocky and Kendrick Lamar reached a boiling point in 2024, both men opened for Drizzy on his Club Paradise tour in 2012. ASAP Ferg was around the trio and then emerged superstars throughout North American trek. He reflected on how the different parties grew to now become foes more than a decade later. Ferg, who joined the Bootleg Kev podcast past Wednesday, compared the relationship to family dynamics, with each looking for their own avenues of greatness. Quote, I feel like that's that's kind of natural though, because even when you think about the family dynamic, little brother, big brother thing, a lot of the times a little brother wanted to grow up, improve himself, and not be under the wings of the big brother. He said that happens a lot. People grow into individuals. Fur continued to point to how all three artists weren't finished products at the time and still growing and evolving as humans. A lot of the times, where we start is not who we really are. We're still growing into that person we are. The K Dot that was on tour, or the Drake that was on tour, or the Rocky that was on tour, or the Ferg that was on tour is not the same person. The Harlem native added, "We were still learning ourselves during that time. So when you grow, you can't. Expect for the relationship to be the same. Obviously, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and A$AP Rocky became music titans in their own rights and dominated the 2010s in rap. Last year, Rocky appeared to take shots at the Sixth God on Future and Metro Boomin's Show of Hands, and just replied by sending a shot in Rocky's direction on his Family Matters diss track in the midst of the 2024 battle with K. Dot. Wow, that's a lot of angry young black men out there going at each other. You make more money working with each other than going against each other, dudes. Like, seriously, it is not that serious. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you got to be the best of friends, but you can make more money being together than fighting against each other and so forth. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things where it's you can just more so put your egos to the side and just make money. That's it. Put the egos to the side, make money, and I think that's better than beefing. You know what I'm saying? There's enough money out there for everyone. And somewhere along the way, usually beef happens via ego. You know what I mean? A pissing contest. Whether it's male or female, black, white, or whatever, ego gets involved. And money also, but more so ego. Um, you may think, like Ferg said, get out of Big Brother's shadow, and Big Brother might not like that, and see little brother blowing up. You take shots or whatever, and I get it. However, it's stupid, and it's like again, I just really think you can make more money working together. You gotta be like sit down like men, hash it out, and come to a conclusion. Now, if you can't, my new idea that I pitched before, get in a boxing match and a challenge match, get Drake, get Lamar, charity event, 3 rounds in a ring, beat the shit out of each other, make money for charity, then go on tour, make more money together. How about that? Now, if somebody steals that idea, it's trademark right here and now. I came up with it. And all this Twitter and vague shit through rap, that's cool and cutesy and and clever, got people thinking. That's nice. But if you have all this anger, get in the ring, beat the shit out of each other for charity and keep it moving. Then put the ego to the side. We're like, all right, let's make some money together. You ain't gotta be the best of friends, you ain't gotta whatever, but you tour together, there's more cash together, you keep it moving. Then just doing vague shots at each other, shots across the bow in raps or in Twitter or whatever the case may be. Beat shit out of each other in a sanctioned match with a referee in the ring. Make your money. Make your money for charity. Go on tour, squash it, and keep it moving. Simple, safe, to the point. Tie it up in a bow. Set it to the side. Next up, there you go. Simple. Trust me, it's not that hard to do. Last but not least, before I leave you for Thanksgiving holiday week, Usher sues Brian Michael Cox over unpaid loan for restaurant that never opened. Usher, as our close friends call him Usher, sues again Brian Michael Cox over unpaid loan for restaurant that never opened. Usher has filed a lawsuit against one of his longtime music producers and a few others over a loan of a restaurant in Atlanta that never opened. In a lawsuit filed November 14th, Usher claimed that the producer Brian Michael Cox, who produced Usher's hits including "You Got It Bad" and "Burn," approached him in 2024 to invest in an upcoming restaurant and lounge in Atlanta called Homage ATL. Entertainment lawyer. Oh man, these names. Alced Honoror. Woo. I'm simple folk. I'm just a simple folk from Southwest Philly. Some of these names go over my head. We'll try it again. Alced Honoror. Entertainment industry officials Keith Thomas, I can pronounce that, and Charles Hughes are also named in the suit. Usher revealed in a filing that he didn't want to invest in the restaurant but agreed to loan the group $1.7 million that he wired over in January. When the property for the location hadn't been purchased months later, Usher asked the group to repay the loan. He said he received $1 million in compensation in August, but yet has not received the remaining $700,000. Usher claims the honors told Usher claimed the honoree told him returning the money was not that easy because the money had been used for other purposes. The singer said he hasn't received an explanation about what it's been for you, what it's been used for. Usher is seeking $4.9 million in damages, which is $700,000 for each of the lawsuits claimed. In a recent conversation with TMZ, in which Usher suggested he create his own clothing line, the singer revealed that he loved to see Metallica perform at the Super Bowl. Here's my thing. Here's my thing about this, which is interesting. If I'm not, let me go through this again. Let me go through this again. He said in the lawsuit filed November 14th, Usher claims the producer Brian Michael Cox, who produced Usher's hits, including "You Got It Bad," blah 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 blah, approached him in 2024 to invest in an upcoming restaurant and lounge in Atlanta called Homage ATL. Right? Says Usher revealed in the filing that he didn't want to invest in the restaurant, but agreed to loan the group $1.7 million that he wired over in January. Stop. Boom. Here you go. That's my issue. That's my issue. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. You don't want to invest in it, but you still loaned out money to investors for a restaurant that you're not interested in. Now you complaining you can get all your money back. And then my man, Honore, said, look, man, that $700,000 went somewhere else for other purposes. So did you get swindled? Well, it sounded like you got swindled. It sounded like you somehow they used that money for other things in their lives or other shit that's going on. But my beef is with Usher. It's like, dude, if you're not interested, keep your money in your pocket, Rocket. Why give that much money out? Like if you don't want to, if you're not interested, if I'm not interested in investing in anything, I'm not giving out that large sum of money unless I get it in black and white that I'm gonna get this amount back, not just a handshake deal or verbal agreement. We're gonna get shit notarized. We're gonna say I'm loaning this to you, in an agreement you give it back X amount of dates at this time, or we will go to court. You dig what I'm saying? But I'm still stuck on the fact that you're not interested in it, but you give out large sums of money to help. That doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe I'm missing something, and maybe you guys may get it. I don't get it because I'm like giving out $1.7 million to a bunch of cats for a business venture that I'm not a part of. And then I'm gonna get bent out of shape because they dragging the feet giving my money back. You wired them the money? You wired them the money? Even that sounds kind of fishy. You didn't get your lawyers involved in this. You didn't get your accountants and people like look into this and again have it on paper. Like it's a loan. Sign this, get it notarized, and if I don't get my money back in set amount of time in full, you will be held accountable and we will court filings or whatever. It's like he just all willy-nilly just, all right, man, all right, homie, I got you. Whatever. Then it was like, so restaurant's not happening, give my money back. I'm missing something. I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding why he would give money that amount away for something he's not investing in, that he's not going to be a part of. That doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? And I hear, the $700,000 they're holding hostage, and it's 3 cats, and apparently they ain't got the money. It's not that easy to get back. It be used for other purposes. Man, you may give me back my money, but it's like what type of? I question Usher and I question the people around him, because sometimes you may have lawyers or accountants looking at shit like this, even though he don't want to be a part of it. He did help put money towards it, and be like, all right, unless he overruled his accountant, overruled his people, and was like, nah, that's my homie. I got him. He's good. Give him. I'm good. He's good for it. I don't care who you are. It doesn't matter who you are. If I'm not going to be hands on and I'm not going to be associated with, I'm not interested in a restaurant, then you have to go somewhere else. I'm not going to give you that. And if I decide to, like I said, we're going to have it in writing, notarized, have my money back within said date or whatever, my investment back, X amount of time, this, and this, and this, and this. And if I don't, then we go to court. It's just something about that just doesn't sit right with me. Like, I think that was just a foolish move that he made. Like, if you're not interested, do I give that money out? Why would you give that? Why would you wire that? Why? It just doesn't make sense to me. I would never do that. Somebody gotta make that make sense. Only he knows, but it just doesn't make sense. Like, you're not interested, but you still give him a large amount of money. Now you like, where's the rest of my money? Because the restaurant never opened, and they're giving you reactions like, "Well, it's not that easy, man. We had to use it to his other purposes." What other purposes? What? The restaurant's not open. What the fuck happened? What type of deal is y'all dealing with? What type of shady shit you use my money for? But it sounded like Usher didn't do his due diligence, or his people around him then do their due diligence and look into it. Now here he is trying to fight this shit out in court, which may take a while to get your money. It might take X amount of years to even get your cash. You know what I mean? Like you filing, but the court case might take up to a year to 2 years or whatever for it to go through and for them to do the paperwork and find out for them to pay you back and all that stuff. I just don't understand why would you give them the money without doing your due diligence, especially if you're not going to be a part of the restaurant, where you can be hands-on and find out what's going on. That just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. It just doesn't. And maybe I'm missing something. Maybe you guys know. Maybe you guys understand that better. But I don't get that. I just don't. But what I do get is that this week is Thanksgiving, and I'm gonna let you guys go. That's my time for this week on the final episode, not final episode, final season slip of NYP Entertainment Radio. Yeah, man. Look, it's a time of year as always. Fellowship with one another, break bread, family and friends. Be safe, like I said, traveling to and from your destination. Drink responsibly. I know it sounds cheesy, but it's true. And enjoy your time with everyone. And just live in that moment. Don't worry about the next day or last week or next month. Believe whatever higher power you believe in. Take it day by day. It'll work itself out. And appreciate you letting me take this time to take your mind off your problems for at least an hour. Remember, press the subscribe button. Get algorithms up for NYP Entertainment Radio, which leads into Who is Kyle Graham. Let the people know. Give the word. I'll get it out. Spread the word. But although this is the end of NYP Entertainment Radio, Who is Kyle Graham will be on the heels of this in 2026. Again, thank you very much. Be safe. Have fun. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for another great week. And Lord willing, I'll see you next week for another episode of NYP Entertainment Radio. The show is over, but I can't play the song because we all know about legal and IPs and copyrights and stuff like that. But thank you very much. Everyone, enjoy. And I'll see you next week. NYPA Entertainment Radio. Later.